Happy Friday, Warriors. Last week's Mount Mover Spotlight was Rachel Kennedy. She's an absolute assassin with recruiting and marketing. And if you're not following Southern Lighthouse, please do so because you will gain value from it. Next week's Mount Mover Spotlight is none other than Chase Luft with Turner Construction. I know he's going to bring an awesome and impactful word for all of us to learn from next week. Several nuggets from the daily motivation emails this week. The first one was regarding advice. And it's super important to get advice from others, but it's equally important to figure out who we're getting advice from. Because if we get it from the wrong source, it can take us in the wrong direction. So who are we seeking counsel with? God's first on the table. Maybe it's a trusted family friend or colleague. Maybe it's a category of your life, like you want to be a better spouse. Who's the best spouse that you know that just love on their spouse and make them a priority? And the same thing could be said about kiddos. Or maybe it's a negative emotion that you want to turn to a positive emotion, like grace instead of anger, selflessness instead of selfishness. Identify those areas of weakness that you have and then figure out in your sphere of influence who's the best at walking at that and seek their advice. The next one was a real gut punch for the season of life that I'm in, and it's revolving around what we fear the most often reveals where we trust God the least. And so when my brain and thoughts start going into a negative pattern, that's a time to stop down and talk to God and pray and cast my burdens, as it's said. The problem with me is when I cast that burden and lay it down at his feet, I pick it right back up. And then I put it down and pick it right back up. And the more I cast it to him, maybe the longer I'll keep it there and find some peace and joy in the quiet space because my brain's moving constantly, but I want it moving in a positive direction. So what are you fearing the most? Where is your negative emotion? And do you need to lay that at God's feet today? And then the last one was about the connectivity with mind, body, and spirit. And they're in one relationship. And if one is unwell, the others are unwell. And I could feel that when my body's aching and like there's muscle tension, like it makes my drive go down. And I could feel how it negatively impacts me. And then if I'm not in tune with my spiritual life, forget the other two. They're going to start falling as well. But in mind, body, and spirit, which ones are lacking for you? Which one needs some of your attention? Understanding the connectivity of all three of those together. Find something today that helps your mind, helps your thoughts, helps your body, whether it's working out, stretching, proper diet, consuming good whole foods, and then time with the Lord, quiet time to just rest. Finish strong, and we will hear from Chase next week.